Okay, so we are recording the class now, so it's okay. Let me share the Paint window with you. Okay, so now you can see a blank Paint screen. So what I'm talking about, I'm talking about first of all, you need to determine the purpose of research. So let me make a kind of a flow chart so that you would know about it. So first of all, you have the purpose of research. So let's say my purpose of research is analytical research. I am testing some cause and effect model. You know that in cause and effect model, you have independent variables and dependent variables. So you will see the effect of independent variables on the dependent variables. So let's say my purpose of the research is analytical, and in analytical it is cause and effect kind of a thing. Okay, so then let's say my process of the research. What type of data I will collect? Yes, can anybody tell me? Is it quantitative or qualitative for this type of research?
Quantitative?
Yeah, it will be quantitative. Good. So let me put it as quantitative. So my process of the research will be quantitative data. That means I have to do some questionnaire with close-ended questions in it. So there will be a survey with close-ended questions, not open-ended. Okay, good. Moving forward, third thing would be my outcome of the research. So what should be the outcome of my research? Is it applied or basic? Let's say I'm not finding a solution to a problem. So in my analytical research, I am just looking at the effect of variables on the other one. It is not kind of a solution. This is just some insight, some new knowledge about it. So you need to tell me whether it is applied or basic.
Basic?
Basic.
Basic research. Yeah, good. Yeah. So it will be a basic research. Good. Because I'm not finding a solution to a problem. Not necessarily. I'm just providing the insights, new things about that model. Okay. So last thing, I have to tell about the logic of the research. So in logic of the research, I must tell whether it is deductive or inductive. Now please tell me. For analytical research, if your purpose is analytical, if your data is quantitative, obviously, and you have some basic research with you, what do you think? What are you doing? You are doing, your logic of the research is either deductive or inductive. That means whether you are confirming some theory or you are developing a new theory. Deductive means you are confirming some hypothesis or theory. You confirm, someone has given that research and you are confirming it, that it is true or false in terms of some hypothesis. Whereas inductive means you are developing a new theory by yourself, some new insights by yourself. So what do you think? In this case, it is deductive or inductive?
Deductive?
Deductive. Good. So we have deductive research with us because it is quantitative data, it is analytical research. That is why the logic of your research would always be deductive. So you must remember this. This is something which is very important. Outcome of the research is basic. Let's say it can be basic, it can be applied. It doesn't matter. But if your data is quantitative, your logic of research should be deductive. If your purpose of research is analytical, then your logic of research should always be deductive. So they are linked with each other. Remember that. What I'm saying that if you have some, what is analytical research? Analytical research is a type of explanatory research, right? Explanatory. It's a type of explanatory research. So if you have explanatory research with you, your data will always be quantitative and your research, logic of the research will always be deductive. So please keep this in mind. Please keep this in mind.
If the purpose is descriptive, the same or not?
Come again. Sorry, I didn't listen to your question.
If the purpose is descriptive, it's the same?
Yeah, yes. So if the purpose of your research is, let's say, not analytical, it is descriptive, then it will be same as well. It will also be quantitative data. Process of your research will be quantitative and logic of your research will also be deductive. Good. Because descriptive is also a type of explanatory research. Good. So if your purpose of research is either analytical or descriptive, things will remain like it. That means your process of research will be quantitative and your logic of research will be deductive. Good. You're right. So is it clear? This thing is clear. You can take a snapshot of it. I think I have made a mistake in the let me write it again. Purpose. Purpose of this. So you can take a picture of this for your future reference. I give you a minute, 30 seconds, just take a picture of it for your future reference. Otherwise, it is in the recording. I will upload it, inshallah, tomorrow.
Mister,
Yes.
if the purpose is exploratory, that
Yeah.
means the process will be quantitative and logic will be
Inductive. I will make
Yes.
it now. You just take a picture of it. I will also make for exploratory.
Okay.
Okay. You are right, actually. Good. So you just take a picture of it. I will draw the flow chart for exploratory research as well. Most of you, I hope, now know that flow chart, but just for your understanding, let me make it. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I hope you have taken the snapshot of it. So let me remove it. And why did I remove all of it? I can just remove this side. Yeah. So let's say you have exploratory research with you, the question which is just raised by one of the students. So if you have exploratory, research with you. If your purpose is exploratory, then in that case, the process of your research will be qualitative, right? That means the data you will collect will be in the form of text or interviews, not structured or close-ended. It will be open-ended questions. Text is the data which you will get. Then outcome of the research will be, it can be basic, it can be applied. So let me put anything. You know that maybe in qualitative you are looking for a solution, but most of the time when you are providing a theory, it will be basic most of the time, because you are providing that theory to increase the knowledge body, not to give a solution to something. So most of the time it will be basic. Then the logic of your research will be inductive. That means you are developing a theory. So this is the flow chart for exploratory research. So if you have exploratory research, definitely you will have a qualitative process and your logic of research will be inductive in nature. If you have any question, you can put it in a chat box or you can unmute yourself, no problem. I hope now the whole process, whole framework of research is clear to you.
Mr.
Yes,
The outcome,
yeah.
I think it should be applied, not basic.
It should be inductive.
When it come applied,
When it comes,
applied, the outcome.
look, okay, that is why I have written, even if your outcome is applied, let's say your theory, first of all, let us define a rule of thumb. In qualitative things, most of the time you are developing a theory. That means no one has asked you about a solution. So exploratory research will always be about increasing the knowledge. That means maybe in exploratory research, I will never come up with applied research. That means I will be giving a solution to something. I will be providing some theory like behavior of people and things like that, something new. Maybe this problem is not given by any company. So as an exploratory research, I have never seen anything which is applied. Maybe there are 1% chances that you will have some applied for it. But even then, you are making a theory. You are making a theory. That means it is inductive approach. Inductive means you take some data, observations, based on that, you provide a theory. So it, in any case, it will be inductive for exploratory research. And in exploratory research, 99% of the time, your research would be basic research. In analytical or descriptive research, you can have applied research type. But for exploratory, I have never seen applied research. Yes, it is possible to have it, but the chances are very less. But even then, if it is applied, even then, you are developing a theory, you are developing something new. So it should be inductive. That means bottom up approach. That is for sure. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so you have raised good questions. Okay, so now we can move forward. So you can take a snapshot of it quickly for your future reference. Otherwise, you can see that in the recording as well. So I give you 30 seconds to take a snapshot of it. Then I will stop sharing it and I will come to the slide. Okay, I believe you have. Can I repeat? Okay, I was telling the last thing. I was telling that if you see this diagram, this flowchart, if you have exploratory research, your logic of research will always be inductive. It will never be deductive. And I was telling that for exploratory research, 99% of the time, your outcome of the research will be basic. It will not be applied. Because in exploratory research, you are developing a theory. So theory development means you are developing a new knowledge or new information. Maybe it is not a solution. So in exploratory research, maybe I haven't seen applied outcome. It is possible, but I haven't seen it before because you come up, you are not coming up with a solution. You are coming up with a theory. So this theory is actually increasing the knowledge of the people rather than providing them with some solution. So if it is increasing the knowledge, we know that it is basic. So exploratory research, for me, it's always basic. And the approach is your logic of the research will be inductive. Yes, for explanatory research, you can have basic research or applied. Both outcomes are possible. But in that case, either it is basic or applied, you will have deductive approach. But in exploratory, it is always inductive. It's always inductive. You must keep that in mind. This flowchart is very important. It will clear your concept. That means if I have exploratory research, my logic of research will always be inductive. If I have explanatory research like descriptive or analytical, then in that case, my research, outcome of my research will always be, the logic of my research will always be deductive. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, continue.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so now I can stop sharing this paint and I can share with you the slides again. Okay, and a window reference for unit 1. Okay, so now you know about deductive and inductive research. Moving forward, there is one example given here. You can just read it by yourself. So in deductive research, there is a theory given by someone. Female students are smarter than male students. Someone gave this statement in his research. Many research papers are here. Based on it, you make an hypothesis. You make a hypothesis. That means this is a research which is either descriptive, okay, and if it is descriptive, then it is either cross-sectional or longitudinal. I would say this is descriptive because it is telling you something. It is not cause and effect or association. So I would say this is explanatory research because the theory is already there. So explanatory research. Which explanatory research? Descriptive. It is describing something that female students are smarter than male students. Okay. Based on it, you make a hypothesis. You make a hypothesis that if female students are smart, then they should have higher CGPA. Now, what type of data you will collect? Quantitative data about the GPAs of the girls, GPA of boys and male and female students in the university. So you will confirm if the GPA of female students, after analyzing the data, if the GPA of female students are higher than male students, then you will say this hypothesis is true. Otherwise, you will say this hypothesis is false. So what are you doing? You are confirming this theory. based on some hypothesis. So this is deductive approach. If you reverse it, on the other slide it is written reverse. Reverse means you make a theory by yourself based on some observation. Then it is inductive research. Okay, we have other types of research as well. There is a research which is known as historical research. Maybe you and me would never come up with historical research. Historical research is about history. So there are students who will study history. They are concerned about historical research. Or archaeologists. Archaeologists are the people who study about the rock. They will study the rock, stones, and they will tell what is the age of those things. They will also study the animals' remains, like dinosaurs. They studied the bones of dinosaur and they told that dinosaur existed many millions of years before. So there are archaeologists. They are concerned about the history. So those people, those researchers who would study history or archaeology, they are more concerned about historical research. What is historical research? If you are doing a history, let's say there is one scholar, he is studying the Islamic history. Now, Islamic history is more than 1400 years old. This is, I believe, 1470 something Hijri, right? So our history, Islamic history is 1400 years ago. So what happened 1400 years before? If someone is studying it, let's say someone is studying the life of Hazrat Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu. If someone is studying the life of Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu, then what he is doing? He is studying the Islamic history. Based on what? Based on some documentary proofs. So what he will do, he will try to find the evidences that will link to that incident. For example, what happened in Ghazwa Badr? Right? It is a part of Islamic history. What happened in Ghazwa Uhud? This is a part of Islamic history. So if someone is studying the history itself, then that is historical research. And how does he do it? He will find the proofs to support his claim. So whatever he claims, this would be supported by some proof. Okay. So I believe same is the case with our hadith, right? Hadith is something of a history. And it is coming to us with a proof that this person actually narrated it, and it is coming from this person, and this hadith is credible. So I believe this is a part of historical research. Anyway, you need to test the authenticity. So I talked about the archaeological remains. In archaeology, you will have to find a documentary proof. That means you must have some solid proof with you. Whereas in history, you look at the authenticity of the sources. Those people who are telling you or who are providing you with that information, do they have the authentic source? So what happened in the previous time is about historical research. Okay, so historical research is also one important aspect. Then we have a case study design. Case study design. Case study design is, if you see the slide, you can see it is one of the most important research methods. Case study. Why is that? Because why case study is very important. Let's say, what is a case, first of all? Case means I will go to some company, for example, Oman LNG, or even those people, Papa Roti Oman. I don't know, because maybe some of you have taken that course. Maybe some business, some very successful business like Oliban. Oliban company in Oman right now, they are emerging for the health product. Oman LNG is there as a business. Okay. There is big hotel chain like Sur Plaza Hotel or some other businesses like Al Marai or Al Rawabi or Mazoon. Mazoon is, I believe, Oman-based company. Al Marai and Al Rawabi, I'm not sure if it is Oman-based or not. What you do, you go to those companies and ask about their success story. Okay, you will give me some proof with it. Proof means that how much was your finance? Finance means money you have with you when you started a business. What did you do to become successful? So he will tell me the whole story. I will put it up in the form of a case. Now, if someone is reading a case, he would know about the success of that or the business model of that company. Now, one company can have many case studies. One company can have a case study about their production system. Pepsi company can have their case studies about their distribution system as well. How do they distribute their products? Apple company can have case studies about their product development. How do they produce their new products? What is that? That means in a company you can have many case studies. Case studies provide information about that business model, what type of business model they are using. Now, why it is important? There are many top universities in the world like Cambridge, Oxford, MIT, Stanford. These universities teach their students with case studies. So if you want to know about marketing strategies, they will teach you the marketing strategy of many big companies like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, or Dell, or HP, or Apple, or Samsung, or Panasonic. Case studies. From those case studies, you will get the insights, the business model of those companies, mostly at the MBA level. That means not at the bachelor's level, mostly at the MBA level. So, as a teacher, you will be discussing the cases. The whole class will discuss those cases and they get the knowledge. This is the learning model there. So cases are very important. Case study. That is why it is written that case study design is one of the most important research methods. You research, right? When you are writing a case about some company, you have to research, you have to collect information about that company in that specific area. So you will go to a company and you say, this company, for example, for me, Mazoon company, marketing is important. Their marketing is good as well as their production. They are providing they are making their product and it is available in many markets. That means their production system plus their distribution is good in Oman. Distribution means to distribute that product. They made that product and they are distributing it to many shops. So I can write 3 cases about Mazoon company success, how they are doing it, their business model. So cases are very important for getting knowledge, and they are used by many universities. So famous cases they will study in their courses. Unfortunately, here it is not the model in Oman, right? In many countries it is not there because we haven't written cases about our company. So it is another research method. Keep it in mind. It is very important. If you have cases about your company and the people who are studying, they know about these cases, whenever they go to some company, they can use that knowledge in a better way because it's a practical knowledge. Okay, so this is something about case study. Experimental design is actually cause and effect relationship. We have discussed that in analytical research. So it has causal relationships. That means cause and effect will be there. So there will be dependent variable and independent variable. So this is, we have already discussed. So there is no need to discuss it again, because in analytical research, we have the cause and effect diagram. Actually, what it does, it shows, it investigates. Look, the word investigate. That means the relationship is already there. The model is already there. What are you doing? You are investigating it again to discuss the relationship between some variables, between or among some variables. So this is the end of unit 1. For your quiz next week, we will only discuss unit 1. Is it okay?
In which day exactly?
Which day? Okay. So your quiz will be for 30 minutes, and we will do it on Tuesday. For section 10, we will do it on Tuesday. I will send the announcement on Blackboard in the weekend as well. So section 10, we will do it on Tuesday. Okay?
Mister,
Within the class, we will do it.
Mister,
Yes, I couldn't hear. It's okay. Only unit 1.
Mister, Mister,
Yeah.
can you give us example for unit 1?
For unit 1, I just gave the example. Maybe I will give you only some small thing. Maybe I will ask you whether this is deductive approach, deductive or inductive. If you have to write, you have to just write one word. Or maybe I will ask you that give some statement, and I will ask you whether this is this shows quantitative data or qualitative data. Only things like that. Only based on your concept. It would be
Okay.
easy.
Okay.
It would be very easy. Don't worry about it. If you have taken a class, then no worries.
Which day, Mister, will be?
It will be on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We have a, yeah,
Next
Tuesday,
week.
next week, inshallah. From 11 to 11:50, we have that class. So we will do it for, because the quiz will be for 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Online, same. I will send you the quiz on Blackboard. You will just, yeah, in Blackboard. I will send it in the Blackboard. You will finish it in the Blackboard, because I will send it in email. Okay. So you will just finish it and submit it back on the Blackboard. Okay.
Okay, Mister.
Okay. So that would be fine for your quiz. I will send you the announcement. Don't worry. Section 10.
Mister,
Yeah.
the quiz will be multiplies and true and
Yeah.
false.
Yeah. Multiple choice questions, true and false, only simple things. Nothing to write, like definitions would not be there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So now let me go to unit 2. I have to stop presenting this one. Move to unit 2. It's unit 2. Okay. Okay. So now in this chapter, we would be looking at the important aspects of your research report. I told you that there are 40 marks for research report, 10 marks for your presentation, 30 marks for your report. And you can make a group of 2 in normal circumstances. I would usually expect that there are 2 members in a group. So let's see. But the point is that you should start working on your topic now. So because this research project is due in week 12, so you need to start working on it, like choosing a topic and discussing about it. In this chapter, we will be going through the research process. That how would you choose a topic? Then the important thing is about reviewing the literature. Reviewing the literature. Okay, what is that? For choosing a topic, you must choose any topic. You can choose any topic. It doesn't matter that you are from biotechnology side and you have to find a research problem which is related to biotechnology. No. You can have any problem in your mind on which you think research is possible. The only thing is you need to search the keywords. I'm putting it in the chat box. Keywords. Okay, so you need to search the keywords. For example, I want to study the psychology of old people. Old people, psychology of old people. So what is a keyword for me? So for keyword for me is psychology. And plus old. These are the 2 keywords for me. I have put it in the chat box. What I will do, I will search it on Google. Now you have to find a literature where whether some people have worked on it or not in order to determine that whether you are going to do exploratory research or explanatory research, right? This is the first thing now. So you need to know whether the idea which you have in your mind, is it new or already some researchers have worked on it? Already some researchers have worked on it. Then in that case, what will you do? You will search the internet. We have Google. So I will put these 2 words, psychology plus old, or I will write psychology of old people. And I will look for research papers. Research papers, not articles. Okay. So articles mean some newspapers. Newspapers research is also there, but most of the time for academic research, you will find the research papers from which has been published in different journals. Okay, so you can ask me, Mr. Is this the only way to search the literature? Google. I would say there are databases. Databases means there is EBSCO. You can check it on the internet. EBSCO, I'm putting it in the chat box. There is JSTOR. And there are other databases as well. Databases means EBSCO is a website which will collect many research journals in different areas, in biotechnology, in engineering, in social sciences, in business, in communication, in economics, in humanities, in civil engineering, in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, you name it. So EBSCO will have almost a lot of journals for every field. And when you put this keyword there in EBSCO, they will show you different articles related to it there. Now the problem is that for EBSCO database, this is a database, right? You have lot of articles from even from 1900 when it started publishing. So they have put these articles in different journals. So it is easy to find it there. You will find the whole article there. Maybe in Google, you will just find the first paragraph. Maybe you will not able to get the PDF file for that research paper. But in EBSCO, you will find the PDF file. Yes. But the problem is, for that, the college or university in which you are studying, they should pay some money as a premium to get the access. Unfortunately, as far as I know, there is no access. You can check it with the LRC. LRC is this is actually an e-library, na? Meaning, these are databases. JSTOR, EBSCO, these are databases. Like we have a library here, LRC you call it, Learning Resource Center. So same like that, this is a virtual e-library. So you have all the journal articles there. All the journal articles there. In JSTOR, in EBSCO, there is Provost. So the point is, even for JSTOR, you need to get, JSTOR is similar to EBSCO, but EBSCO is actually much bigger. You need to pay the premium. You need to pay the money as a university to get the access of it. Unfortunately, maybe we don't have that access here. So yes, you can search on Google. I will give you one more. You have to search it on Google SCI Hub. SCI Hub is also a database which is free. Now there are many links of SCI Hub when you will search it on Google. Inshallah, in the next class, I will try to give you let me search it now. Maybe I can find it. This is a free database. Which one is working? Let me check. Because when you will search SCI Hub in Google, you will find many links of it. Okay. Maybe in some other language as well. So which one is working? Let me check. Let me check which one is working. Okay. Yes, I believe I have found it. So this is not working because I found SCI Hub, and with that SCI Hub, when I just put my keyword, it is not giving me access. So that means that link is not working. Let me find the link which is working, because it is, which I have. Yeah, I believe this one. Okay, so let me put the link. You can try, And in the next class, you can tell me what actually happened. So the link is, let me copy the link. Okay, so I have sent you the link, but when you put your keywords in it, it will take you something in which you have to download the folder for SCI extension, download the extension. So please download that extension, and then when you will use it, I hope it will work. I will also try to find out a simple way out, but when you will go to this link, put your keywords in it, then you will come to the another page where you have to download the extension. Then I hope it will work. Otherwise, I will try to find out, because what actually happened, it was working before, but many people are using it because it is free database. So sometimes they just put some restrictions on it. So inshallah, I will find out the way, but you can try. So you can note it down. I have put it in the chat box, the scihub.se link, because other links I couldn't open. Other links I couldn't open. Let me search it in the next page. Let me try. Okay, I have to keep it download. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, same thing is coming. So we need to, you need to download the extension. Okay, so when you will go to this link, when you will put some keywords, it will take you another page where you have to download the extension. When this downloaded extension will come in your search engine like Google Chrome or Internet Explorer. Then again, when you will put the, after that extension is in your web browser, then you would be able to search different papers. So try it. Inshallah, I will also check for it. Okay. I had that link with me. I'm not sure in which you can directly do it, but it will work. Okay. So you need to, what I was telling, why I'm telling you about this, because if you see the slides, you need to review the literature. Reviewing literature means you need to, first of all, collect the literature related to your topic. So literature, what is literature? Literature means the previous research work which has been done on that type of topic or research problem. So SCI Hub is there for downloading those papers. Okay. When you download a paper, I give you a simple technique. Maybe you will say, Mr. There are 200 papers or 100 papers related to my research. Okay, no problem. But you cannot read all those papers to find what is the important thing in those papers. So the best way is that you have to read the abstract. In every paper, whether you are biotechnology student, computer science student, communication student, business student, the first paragraph of it will be written as abstract. Abstract is the summary of the paper. What is in that paper? What are the results? What are the findings? This is the abstract. Read abstract and read introduction. Introduction is the second part. Introduction tells you why the researcher conducted this research. This is the motivation of the research. Motivation. So introduction is actually the motivation of the research. In any journal article, you will find abstract and introduction. Just read these two parts. You will know what is inside that research paper. You do not need to go through the whole paper. You don't need to go through the whole paper. You just need to know, you can read the abstract of that research paper and the introduction. That will give you a very good idea of that what are the findings of this research. What was the research question or hypothesis in that research paper? Okay, so you need to review the literature. It is very important. I told you research is, first of all, you need to determine that your problem is either totally new or maybe researchers have worked on it and they have worked on similar type of topics, similar type of research problems. Is this okay till now? Did you take the link? Just keep it with you. Try to download that extension. Okay, good. So you can search it on Google. Google is always there, right? But in Google, I told you, you cannot read the whole paper. The PDF file will not be there for many papers. So that is why I give you that link of SCI Hub. Science Hub is there. It is one of the best sources, free database of papers. That means any area. It doesn't matter you are from biotechnology or medical sciences, natural sciences, physical sciences, whatever it is, social sciences, they have the research papers with them. I will try to give you more links like this, like for free databases, because unfortunately for EBSCO and JSTOR, we don't have the access. You have to pay money for it. You can search on Google, EBSCO, the link will come, but because our the whole like the premium is not paid, you will not be able to, you will just be able to search the paper title will come in EBSCO, many paper titles will come, but when you click the PDF file, it will not come. It will not come in EBSCO or JSTOR. But in SCI Hub, you can easily download the papers for your reading. Okay, is this point okay? Inshallah, I will try to make the review of literature easy for you people. I will try to make it easy. I will try to make it easy. I will try to find direct SCI Hub source. Okay. Okay, good. So moving forward, when you have done the review of your literature, then you will come to defining the research problem. Now, what is that? That means, first of all, you will read many papers. What is in them? Then based on that, because now you know, why are you reading those papers? Because now you know that your problem, and I tell you, what type of problem is in your mind that, okay, this is a topic on which I can do research. I assure you, 99% of the time, if you search it on Google or on any database, you will find lot of people who have worked on similar type of research problems. This is the, what do you say? This is one of the amazing things of technology. Everything is there now. Everything is there. Your plagiarism software in Blackboard, SafeAssign, it also uses those databases. It will take the words from there and it will tell you that, okay, this is copied from there. These databases are very important because they give you the literature. They tell you that your work needs to be new one. If it is something which is copied from those research papers, it will, any simple plagiarism software will tell about it. Any simple plagiarism software will tell about it. Okay, so I told you, your research work should make some contribution in future when you are doing it. Even now, if you are searching some research topic, try to come up with a research topic which has something new. Okay, what is something new? Let me clarify it. I told you before as well, contribution is of two types. theoretical and contextual. I put it in the chat box. Theoretical or contextual. Theoretical means you are adding something new to the theory. So the theory or work is there, and you are adding something new to it. Some new variable, some new factors, or some new relationship you are discussing, which others haven't discussed. This is theoretical contribution. What about contextual contribution? Contextual means, okay, this study has been done in Europe, in Western countries. Now I will use the same study, same research model for Oman. This is also new, but in terms of context, context has changed. Context means first it was done in Western countries. Western countries, the culture, the thinking, the the behavior is different from Asia or from Middle East. Even in Asia, there are many types of cultures. Maybe the culture is different in India, maybe the culture is different in China, and maybe the culture is different in Middle East. So contextual, that means your research work can either contribute to the theory, you add some value to the theory, theoretical contribution, or you add some value in the context. Context means this is a new research. Yeah, this is not new in the world, but this is new in this area or in this context because no one has done that before in Oman or in Middle East. So I expect whatever research problem you are coming up, research topic you will select for this course, it should make at least contextual contribution. If someone come up with the theoretical contribution, in your presentation, you should be telling that it is theoretical contribution or contextual contribution. Please remember that. Is this point okay? That you can have two type of, like for your research problem, if you think it is not new, everything is the same, but the context is new. This is also possible to search. I can search it very easily that whether your problem is new to Oman or not. So either you will be doing it, you will be making a theoretical contribution, or you will be making a contextual contribution. Both are also possible. Both are also possible, but you must come up with a problem which is doing either one of them. Okay, so either it is a theoretical contribution or it is a contextual contribution. Is it clear till now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I can move forward. So let me go through the whole process. So you will review the literature. First of all, you will choose the topic, then you will review the literature. After reviewing the literature, you will define your research problem. And here in this research problem, you must know that whether you are making a theoretical contribution or contextual contribution. Then you have to design a research instrument. If now you know, if you have exploratory research, totally new problem, if you claim that your problem is totally new, then you will be going for interviews. Otherwise, you will design a questionnaire. You get my point? In this course, luckily you don't have to If you are designing an interview, you just need to design the question. If you are designing a survey, then you have to just design the questions based on previous. You can take those questions from previous research as well. Luckily, you don't have to collect data in this course. So your research report will be about designing the process. Am I correct in that? Am I correct? Let's see. Let me check. I have that course outline with me. I don't want to give you people a false hope. So let me check. Let me confirm it right now. Because I think, as per my understanding, and you will not be collecting the data. So you will be doing the literature review, then you will be designing the questionnaire or interview. It depends upon your type of research, whether it is exploratory or explanatory. After that, it should be done. Let me check.